Sponsored by Business Northwest Exhibition and Conference.
Time now for a look at today's business headlines. I'm Richard Fenton, and today I'm joined by business consultant Nina Dar. Good evening, Nina.
Hello.
Now, you're from Cheeky Monkeys, business consultants. Now, immediately, Johnny Vegas is springing to mind already. So before we go down the Johnny Vegas route, tell me, what's Cheeky Monkey all about?
It is quite a serious job that we do by engaging with boards of large organisations and planning their next stages when they want to take on a complex change project, making sure that they've really thought it through and that they know what to do when they come to execute it.
Now, that just immediately takes us nicely to our first little piece. Royal Mail.
Yeah. Struggling
with change at the moment. The unions are talking about taking the strikes beyond Christmas. There seems to be absolutely no end in sight on this. It's an absolute nightmare if this does continue through Christmas.
Yeah.
But what sort of impact is this having on small businesses in the region?
Well, everyone's worried, aren't they? I mean, everybody's looking for Plan B at the moment. They don't want to desert Royal Mail. It's an institution that's really loved. But nobody wants the run-up to Christmas with everyone getting frightened that they're not going to get their online deliveries. So it's a huge opportunity, actually, for lots of small businesses to come out and attack the vulnerability of somebody like Royal Mail. And I think we're seeing a lot of that happening in the marketplace at the moment.
I mean, talking of the love, me personally, I'm already experiencing problems. I'm waiting for my tax disc to come. It's not going to come through the post. It's supposed to arrive on Monday. Now, are the public beginning to lose sympathy with both sides, not just the unions, but Royal Mail management as well? Do people really now want to see these guys sat around the table and hammer this out and get an agreement before things go too far?
I think the benefit that the postal workers have is that they are a well-loved part of our society, but people are starting to not really understand why they can't come to some agreement, because everybody's facing this sort of change at the moment. So you and me and the organisations we work in every day, people are having to think about these hard decisions and they face them day in, day out. No one's got job security anymore, so why should the postal workers be any different? So I think if people start to get affected on the run-up to Christmas, they are going to lose a lot of sympathy, and that would be quite sad. I
mean, it's interesting you mentioned that people are experiencing problems themselves within the workplace, and the TUC are tomorrow going to call for the government to raise the minimum wage from £5.80 to £6, which really does fly in the face of everything that the Royal Mail Union are asking for. But if the government go for this, is this going to make a difference to somebody who's already on a low income? Is 20 pence extra an hour going to impact somebody? Is it going to give them a happy Christmas?
Well, you see, again, two sides, isn't there? You think if you're on that sort of minimum wage, 20p makes a huge difference. So we shouldn't underestimate that and how people would feel if they got that extra bit of money in their pay packet. But on the other hand, is this now the right time? Confidence isn't great. Unemployment is higher than we've seen in a long time. So we have to balance off, yeah, it's not a lot of money, but in terms of confidence, is this just going to knock people? Is there going to be more of a fear factor than a real impact? So the way people will think about it will create uncertainty again.
Now, just very quickly, is this going to have a negative impact upon small businesses having to implement a pay increase of 20 pence per hour?
I think they will think it will. It'll be one of those things that in everyone's mindsets they'll think, oh, not another thing that we have to deal with, and they'll think it's another outlay. You know, for a lot of people who are having to think about taking pay cuts or downsizing, so they'll think it's the wrong time, even though, like you're saying, it's not really a lot of money, but it'll be the thought that will make it worse.
That's splendid. Thank you very much for joining us today, Nina. Time now to take a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Sponsored by Business Northwest Exhibition and Conference.